Einen wunderschönen guten Abend und herzlich willkommen zu einem weiteren Special-Stream an der Stelle. Denn ich kann die Kopfhörer nochmal abnehmen, heute Abend am 30.08., wir haben gerade 20:08 Uhr, startet gleich zumindest die Gamescom Best-of-Show. Gerade sind noch die Cosplay Awards, da wird gerade noch der Gewinner bekannt gegeben. Da war jetzt eben gerade anscheinend der letzte, der gezeigt wurde. Und jetzt wird gerade halt, wie gesagt, das letzte bisschen noch gezeigt. So, wie gesagt, gleich Best of. Und deswegen streamen wir nochmal live. Scheint vorbei zu sein, tatsächlich. Jetzt kommt noch gerade irgendeine andere Werbung von irgendwelchen Speedruns. Das brauchen wir uns auch nicht angucken, tatsächlich. Aber wie gesagt, also Best of Gamescom. Ich kann ja an der Stelle schon mal ein bisschen erwähnen, was für mich so ein bisschen das Best of Gamescom war. Ich habe die ja diesmal ein bisschen nur nebenbei verfolgt. Aber was ich ganz cool fand, ist diese generelle Nähe zu den Entwicklern. Also man hatte halt die Möglichkeit, also jeder hat auch seine Möglichkeit, mal seine Fragen den Entwicklern zu stellen, auch über Umwege. Und das fand ich schon tatsächlich ziemlich cool. Zum Beispiel wurden halt auch in allen möglichen Spielen quasi Fragen beantwortet. Du hast jetzt die Möglichkeit, dich halt beim Flugsimulator mal zu informieren, was da noch so geplant ist. Du hattest die Möglichkeit, dich dann, keine Ahnung, nehmen wir jetzt mal als Beispiel. Oh Gott, sucht euch einfach euer Spiel aus. Da hattet ihr auch noch die Möglichkeit, und wenn ihr was verpasst habt, einfach, das konntet ihr dann halt einfach nachholen. Und das war schon echt cool, das einfach nachzuholen. Also diese Möglichkeit, dieser vollumfänglichen Informationsbeschaffung, das war bei dieser Gamescom schon irgendwie ziemlich cool. Natürlich die klassische Messe, wie es die letzten Jahre war, die fehlt. Das stimmt, die fehlt in der Tat. Die kann man hierdurch auch definitiv nicht ersetzen. Aber ich finde, das wäre hier jetzt, also diese aktuelle Gamescom-Geschichte, wie wir sie dieses Jahr hatten, hier überwandeln, ins nächste Jahr so ein bisschen mitnehmen, irgendwie das Beste daraus übernehmen, das wäre cool. Das wäre auf jeden Fall eine Weiterentwicklung. So, es scheint gerade der letzte Werbeblock zu sein. Ich halte mich schon bereit.
Streaming to you on IGN, and now you can watch it unfold on TikTok.
Gehen wir mal
World
rum.
Premieres, exclusive gameplay,
scheinbar das Ende der
interviews, and unforgettable
Werbung.
moments from the biggest show in gaming can now be crammed right into the palm of your hand. Check out IGN and Gamescom's TikTok accounts and use the hashtags WellPlayed and Gamescom 2020 to get in on the action.
Nein, macht das nicht. Kein TikTok. Macht das nicht. Seid nicht asozial. Seid nicht asozial.
Gamescom always ends on a high note with a celebration of the biggest and most impressive new developments the video game industry has to offer, as well as the upcoming games that you are most excited about. Get ready because the 2020 Best of Gamescom Awards are starting right now.
Die Best of Show, da haben wir sie, sehr gut.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 2020 Gamescom Awards at the Gamescom Best of Show. I'm your host, Sydney Goodman, and even though Gamescom is coming to a close, we've saved the best for last. Literally. Over the next hour, I'll be presenting awards to the biggest and the best Gamescom had to offer, and luckily, I'm not alone in this venture. Here to help me announce the winners from our diverse set of categories are Damon Hatfield and Akeem Lewanson. What's up, guys?
Hey Sid, and hello to everyone watching at home. Now, the Gamescom Best of Show Awards cover a wide range of categories, with some winners picked by Gamescom's panel of judges and others voted on by you. Yes, that's right, you guys.
Stimmt, man konnte nämlich abstimmen die letzten paar Tage.
And in a rare double whammy of luck, Sydney and I are joined by the fabulous Damon Hatfield from the comfort of his very own home. Take it away, Damon.
Thank you, Akeem. Now, most of all, the Best of Show Awards is just a great chance to celebrate all the best parts of Gamescom in one place, well, one figurative place, since Gamescom's been a bit more spread out than usual this year.
But that doesn't stop gaming from bringing everyone together.
Problem
And
dieses Jahr an der
Gamescom is
Gamescom.
the heart of gaming, after all.
Ein bisschen leiser.
And quickly, before we hop right into the awards, I want to hear from my fellow
Das Problem tatsächlich an dieser
which
Gamescom
awards
war
you're
einfach,
looking
dass
forward
die
to the most.
Spiele
Akif,
nicht in der
we'll start
Fülle
with you.
da waren, wie sie in den letzten Jahren da waren. Allein halt durch Corona. Weil einfach Entwicklungen weggefallen sind, ausgebremst wurden.
You know, we got more than just Twitch as a platform where
Die
people can stream
SSDs.
on. We also have YouTube and DLive. So I'm kind of curious to see where the best streamer will emerge, which platform, and who that person will be.
Damon, how about yourself?
It's probably the action-adventure category for me. Those tend to be the types of games I enjoy. And two big games coming out this year that I'm very much looking forward to, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion, are both nominated this year, so I can't wait to see who wins.
Definitely a stacked category. Personally, I'm looking forward to the most anticipated hardware and tech category because obviously there's a console launch upon us, but also Project X is in
Hendrik, Hardware
there.
und
So
Tech.
we've got some heavy hitters.
Wer da wohl gewinnen wird? Vielleicht eine Konsole mit einer SSD?
Webster's Dictionary defines originality as the opposite of the way I'm introducing this category, but in all seriousness, where would we be without developers willing to take a chance, try something new, and reinvent what gaming makes possible? Here are your Gamescom Best of Show nominees for Most Original Game.
Okay, ja, Cyberpunk ist halt Cyberpunk, ne? Operation Tango haben wir gestern Abend im Stream gespielt. Auch ein ziemlich cooles Spiel mit sehr viel Potenzial. Und so in der Art gibt es das auch noch nicht. Ja, Cyberpunk ist halt neu. Also probiert halt was Neues.
Void Train. This game blends first-person action and survival gameplay as you go hurtling through the fabric of space and time on an interdimensional train. And while the train might stay on track, it's safe to say everything else has gone off the rails. Here's a word from the winner.
Gut, macht Sinn.
Hi everybody, my name is Dima and I'm the publishing producer at Niagara Studios. We're very humbled and honored to receive the Most Original Game Award for our game Void Train here at Gamescom 2020. We've been pouring our hearts and souls into this project, and there are so many people we want to thank, but since we don't have much time, here is just a few honorable mentions. We'd like to thank Heather Glade, our long-term companion and ally. We couldn't have wished for a better partner. We'd like to thank Hyperion Digital, who has stuck with us through the development and helped us.
Also das Spiel ist schon sehr besonders. Es macht Sinn, dass es diesen Award gewonnen hat. Das ist so besonders, dass ich davon gar nichts mitgekriegt habe.
Thank you guys. Congrats again to Void Train. Joining me to discuss Void Train, the winner of Most Original Game is Gerard, the completionist Khalil. Welcome, Gerard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Heute Abend, die Show hier ist Englisch, komplett auf Englisch. Aber wir sind ja alle der englischen Sprache mächtig.
What do you think it is about Void Train that kind of like sets it apart from the rest?
I think the biggest thing that sets apart Void Train from all the survival games out there is the fact that there's this gravity-less approach to how you go excavating and building out your trolley. I think the fact that you can kind of float.
Anscheinend, wie ich das jetzt verstanden habe, du stehst halt auf deinem Zug und fährst du so eine Paralleldimension und da ist alles halt anders und du musst diesen Zug am Fahren halten.
I think just only elevates the uniqueness this game has to offer.
Yeah, and you know, like that's one of the things that I kind of got from the game is it really gave me raft vibes. You know what I mean? Only instead of like building a raft or like trying to like kill a shark, you're like
das hat halt kein anderes Spiel sowas abgestürztes.
I guess you could call them what extraterrestrial space whales, maybe. I guess is what you could possibly call them. But what out of everything that we saw?
Ja, Henrik, mal alleine.
What was one of the most unique aspects of Void Train that you saw?
I think one of the most unique aspects about Void Train that I experienced was seeing these gigantic monsters come at you passively while you're on this adventure of trying to.
Irgendwie haben die nicht so viele Trailer, habe ich das Gefühl. Ich sehe diesen Ausschnitt schon das 5. Mal gefühlt.
And build your trolley accordingly is so interesting. It could have easily just been like an on-rail shooter.
Rise, ein wunderschön.
It could have been just a straight, FPS approach to everything.
Wir sind gerade bei dem Award für das speziellste Spiel, für die speziellste. Wie hieß es nochmal genau?
Early Steampunk 1920s.
Die gewagteste Ausführung.
Kind of combat. You have a revolver that's very classic. It's not like a modernized pistol. So I think there's just so many combination of things that really make this stand out.
Macht schon Sinn. Also nominiert war halt Volt Train, Cyberpunk und halt Operation Tango von gestern.
As you're traveling through these voids and you're tethered to your push trolley and you're
Most original game, da unten steht's auch noch.
Various different, I guess, space creatures, killing some of them, and then all of a sudden you find yourself liberating a Nazi depot. Now you're right there, guns ablazing. So I like that. It's kind of like that weird dynamic where it's like, all right, I'm floating in space. Now I'm like guns ablazing all of a sudden. Now as far as like the train construction, what did you think about building your own train? A space train.
A space train. I think that's one of the cool things about this entire game, right? Is
space train.
Anytime that a game lets the player decide how they want to play the game, from things simply as cosmetics to really unlocking features to kind of build upon what you have. I think that's what makes a game at its strongest, because it lets the player really take control. And Void Train does that super well with this entire concept of building out your trolley, because in the beginning you're going to have
Ich weiß nicht, ob mir das Spiel überhaupt reizen würde im Ansatz.
You might have a gigantic train, you might have the same trolley from before.
Du fährst halt mit einem Zug durch einen LSD-Traum. Wirkt ein bisschen so, als würde man einfach mit einem Zug durch einen LSD-Traum fahren.
Disrupt what we're kind of used to in a certain genre. Like if you think about like space travel, you don't necessarily think about traveling on a train. There was an anime and a manga that I was a fan of as a kid called Galaxy Express 999.
Warum debattieren wir jetzt über Ewigkeiten über ein Spiel? Ja, ich hab's verstanden. Das ist ein Space Train.
Like that particular anime was a space opera. So you're expecting to see spaceships. You're not necessarily expecting to see a train in space. But my final question for you, though, Gerard, I got to ask you
warum
this.
Gilt für den Charakter keine Schwerkraft, aber für den Zug schon? Weil der Zug fährt ja weiter auf den Schienen. Das macht halt eigentlich keinen Sinn.
Would it be the typical spaceship or perhaps a train? That's not a trick question.
Bei aller Liebe, ich glaube, er hat keine Ahnung, was er eigentlich jetzt noch sagen muss, was er noch füllen muss. Es ist halt ein Zug im Weltraum, der halt rollen muss, mehr nicht.
Spaceship that's assembled for you, but if I can design my own train, my own kind of caboose and team to run the whole thing, like that sounds a lot more interesting to me than generic spaceship that travels into space. And I think the nice thing about Void Train 2 is that it's space, but it's also this version of space. Rather, what we've seen is kind of cloud surfing in a way, which is a lot more serene to me than black emptiness in the void of space. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the train.
I think I'm right there with you. It's just something about like just having that freedom to be floating in space, and you're tethered all the while you're traveling through space. I like that whole experience. It just looks really cool. Well, Gerard,
bei aller Liebe zu dem Spiel, aber die blähen das gerade unnötig auf. Also dieses Spiel ist halt an sich relativ schnell erklärt und wird extrem aufgeplustert gerade.
Well, as much as I wish we could take full credit for being the only ones who got to reveal awards during Gamescom, our pal Geoff Keighley announced a few winners during his epic opening night live show. Let's take a look.
Besten eine Nintendo Switch. Aha. Dieses Spiel ist so abgefuckt, ne? My Little Nightmares. Ein bisschen hart abgefuckt. Und Cyberpunk wird, glaube ich, auch ein ziemlich krasses Spiel. Sehr umfangreich. Das Xbox-Spiel Tell Me Why. Das ist, glaube ich, schon draußen, oder? Bin mir nicht sicher, aber ich glaube schon. Jack ein, wunderschön. Best Multiplayer, Operation Tango. Kann ich bestätigen, dass das Spiel hat definitiv Potenzial. Das könnte echt was werden. Watch Dogs Legion. Das ist das beste Adventure. Das Action Game ist Star Wars Squadrons. Okay, es überrascht, also die beiden letzten überraschen jetzt nicht. Best Indie Game, Curious Expedition. Es sieht nett aus, doch. Doch, es sieht ganz nett aus. Würde ich jetzt nicht spielen, aber es sieht nett aus.
And we've got plenty more awards to give out. We need to take a short break, so stick around because Gamescom Best of Show Awards continues right after this.
A very special crossover is coming to Summoner's War Sky Arena. Let's have a quick look at the teaser trailer to find out more.
Natürlich wird es anfangen gut, weil es auf einer SSD läuft.
Summoner's War.
Ist ja nicht so, dass die Werbung einfach doppelt so laut ist wie das eigentliche Programm, ne? Werbung! Schöne, guck mal, da könnt ihr euch was umarmen machen, aus Tassen trinken oder ein Kissen kuscheln. Toll.
The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X news and analysis in our new weekly show, Next Gen Console Watch 2020. We'll bring on the experts to discuss and analyze all the latest developments around these new consoles.
Guck mal, die ganzen Experten bräuchte man nicht, wenn einfach jeder auf dem PC spielen würde. Wie krass wäre das einfach? Diesen ganzen Aufwand bräuchten wir nicht.
Join us every Friday for a new episode.
Es könnten sich einfach alle auf PCs konzentrieren. Geil. Das ist Werbung halt von IGN, die machen halt gerade diese Show. Die Best-of-Show. Sag mal, ich gucke den Stream auf Twitch, ne? Warum wurde da gerade YouTube eingeblendet? Wird der Twitch-Stream von YouTube abgestreamt? Das ist eine gute Frage, weil ich habe eben gerade unten halt die YouTube-Leiste gesehen und wie gesagt, ich bin auf Twitch.
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show Power Ranking, where you
Natürlich habe ich eine Meinung. Ich habe natürlich, klar.
Do it now. Do it. Just go. Vote. Go vote.
Okay. Was zum Teufel? Es ist cool, wenn das internationale Leute sind, die du absolut gar nicht kennst.
Welcome back to the Gamescom Awards at Gamescom Best of Show 2020. Our chance to celebrate all the best parts of this year's Gamescom and the best parts of what's going on in gaming in general. Now, role-playing games are generally epic, sprawling, and deep experiences packed with huge quests, dozens of hours of storytelling, and of course, characters to level up and stats to obsess over. The medium of video games will forever be connected to the RPG genre, and RPGs are only getting bigger and better as video games continue to evolve. Here are the Gamescom Best of Show nominees for Best RPG.
Bin ich mal gespannt, weil ich bin ja so ein Teilzeit-RPG-Freund. So ein Cyberpunk könnte ich Roleplay-Game mäßig spielen. In World of Warcraft nicht.
And the winner for the Best RPG Award is
Cyberpunk
2077. Cyberpunk 2077 is continuing to look as if it'll be the most ambitious
Das war jetzt
game
nicht
of
wirklich
this year.
überraschend.
Just hold out a little longer, folks. The wait is almost over. Congrats on winning this prestigious award.
Das war nicht überraschend.
Hey,
I'm Miles Toast, one of the level designers working on Cyberpunk 2077 at CD Projekt Red. And today, I have the very special honor of finally being able to announce the final price for the Xbox Series X. Now this price... Okay, apparently there's a bit of a change of plans. Ooh. Turns out I almost announced the wrong price. We're here to actually announce the price for the best role-playing game at the Gamescom Awards 2020. And that prize goes to...
Lustig. Jetzt zu euch.
Fall Guys?
Was?
Why isn't it Fall Guys? Okay, apparently this prize goes to us. And so on behalf of everyone back home in Poland, I would like to tell you my greatest thanks.
Die meisten Spiele sind noch nicht mal draußen. Die meisten Spiele, die jetzt gewonnen haben, sind noch nicht draußen.
And see you in Night City.
Joining me to discuss the Best RPG Award winner, Cyberpunk 2077, here's Akeem and Damon. What's up, guys?
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining me. So I don't think it's any huge surprise to know that Cyberpunk 2077 won Best RPG. But Damon, let's start with you. I mean, CD Projekt Red has clearly packed so many details into this game. Is there a certain aspect that you're most excited about?
I think it's probably the Netrunner class that I'm most looking forward to. It's the hacking class, and I like to play stealthy. I always say I play stealthy until I can't anymore and have to go in guns blazing, but that's definitely the class.
Das mache ich übrigens auch so. Ich will immer Stealth spielen, bis ich entdeckt werde und dann rein da.
Was announced in 2012, 8 years ago, before the PS4 and Xbox One were even out. So it's cool that we're finally going to get to play it later this year, and it's both closing out this generation and launching the next generation of consoles.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more in terms of how excited and how long it feels like we've been waiting to get our hands on this. Akeem, how about you? Is there a certain detail or aspect of Cyberpunk 2077 that's really catching your eye?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, I played all forms of RPGs, this is the first one, I believe, that I'm going to be playing from the first-person perspective. Never played an RPG from that perspective, and that's honestly one of the things that I kind of like envied about like shooter games, first-person shooters, is because like it puts you right there in the driver's seat of the character. And this is finally going to be my chance to kind of experience that in RPG form with everything that entails. And we get to explore like this massive city. I've never been to Night City,
Wahrscheinlich hat er wirklich nur World of Warcraft gespielt.
But I know it doesn't exist. But I've never been to such a massive city in a game like this, and just to be able to kind of like live out those Ghost in the Shell moments that that's an anime from the future. Get to hack into people's brains just like in that anime, but this time translated into video game form. I'm really looking forward to experiencing all of that.
Cyberpunk trifft das Wort Reizüberflutung recht gut. Du hast halt sehr viele einfließende Elemente, ganz viele kleine Details, alles leuchtet, alles glitzert. Ja, mal gucken. Wir bewerten nach den ursprünglichen Release-Daten. Dank Corona ist schon alles raus, aber die Spiele sind wegen Corona delayed. Ja gut.
Anything in particular, Damon, that you think is really setting Cyberpunk 2077 apart from
Das ist eine Aufnahme, die konnten keine neuen machen.
Well, we don't really get a lot of Cyberpunk-themed RPGs.
Nee, das jetzt nicht, aber das kann dann wirklich sein, die sollten ja teilweise schon alle draußen sein.
So much time in a high fantasy setting, so I think everybody's really excited to see what they can do with sort of futuristic, high-tech body manipulation game mechanics.
Ich meine, wenn du nur die Spiele von diesem Jahr nimmst, dann hast du nicht mehr viele. Dieses Jahr kamen kaum Spiele raus, die man halt vergeben könnte.
This city is alive. Like, it's a hustling and bustling city, and from what we were told, like, each character has their own routine that they're going about throughout their day, and I feel like one of the reasons why I kind of play like these open world games is because it's not only a form of escape or escapism for me, it's entertainment as well. And so like I like to just like dive into it and just like drive around, see what type of trouble I can get into, and also like follow other characters and kind of like see what their routines are. So like I know there's going to be like the core aspect of Cyberpunk 2077, which is the main storyline. But much like you said, Sid, like I just like to kind of just like get lost in all the little details that the developers have put into this game that if you're just staying the course and following the storyline, you might miss. So I want to just get lost in this game outside of just playing the main storyline. And that's one of the aspects that I feel like we'll be able to do in this open world, this massive city that they've built.
Yeah, well, thank you both so much for talking to me about Cyberpunk 2077. Can't wait for November. We need to take a super quick break, but the 2020 Gamescom Best of Show Awards will continue right after this.
Nicht schon wieder eine Werbung. Vor allem ist sie wieder so laut.
In this Gamescom Partner Spotlight, we're going to take a look at the new trailer for Cyberpunk horror game Observer System Redux.
Oh Gott, warte mal, das eine Horror-Game, glaube ich, vom Anfang, oder?
The year is 2084.
Ja, kennt man. In den nächsten paar Jahren haben alle auf einmal Fernseher anstatt Köpfe. Da bin ich halt komplett raus. Ich verstehe halt tatsächlich nicht, warum man sich freiwillig Horrorspiele gibt. Die Horrortaube. Die Horrortaube. Direkt. Okay, Sinning wurde anscheinend befragt. Ich merke schon. Die riesen Horrortaube.
Setting us all free. And now can't be for nothing. Once in your life, just listen to me. Whatever happens, I need you to remember, you're not in control.
Observer. Ich habe irgendwas mal von gehört tatsächlich, aber nie verfolgt.
Still using those tiny phones and tablets to watch IGN? Give your eyeballs a rest because IGN has moved to your living room. Get first looks and in-depth reviews of the most talked about titles.
Also erstmal IGN gucke ich gar nicht so oft, dass ich das irgendwie auf dem Fernseher vorlagern wollen würde. Punkt 1. Punkt 2. Wenn ich im Bett liege und irgendwas gucke, habe ich halt natürlich mein Tablet oder mein Handy. Da habe ich keinen Fernseher. Nachts so einen riesen Fernseher anmachen ist halt mega nervig. Die Türkentaube. Ich glaube, ich muss den Trailer wirklich mal Sinning schicken und mal gucken, wie er darauf reagiert. Mal im Ernst, warum war da eine fette Türkentaube? Also eine fette Taube. In dem Fall wahrscheinlich einfach eine normale Taube.
IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Ja, ich hab's
Everybody loves watching
verstanden.
a speedrun of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games getting completely wrecked? That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to Speedruns.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game it took years of their life to create.
Die Frage ist ja tatsächlich, wie findet man manchmal solche Wege? Ich habe eben gerade Tomb Raider gesehen. Wie findet man absichtlich Wege, wo man irgendwo durchglitschen kann? Da braucht man ja... Du musst ja hobbylos sein. Du musst ja absolut hobbylos sein, um, keine Ahnung, einen Glitch in irgendeiner Wand zu finden. Also ich kann es verstehen, bestimmt sind irgendwo Level versteckt, wenn man an einer gewissen Stelle runterfällt, dass man dann genau da landet. Aber warum? Was IGN sein soll? Gute Frage. Instant Gaming nervt definitiv nicht. Oh, weiter.
Welcome back to the Gamescom Best of Show Awards. Let's get right into our next award. New gaming tech is always fun, but with a new generation of consoles launching later this year, excitement is at a fever pitch. But those two shiny new video game boxes aren't the only technology on the horizon. So we open voting up to you, the gamers, the early adopters, the prospective consumers, about your most anticipated tech or hardware coming this year.
Oh, SSDs.
Here are the nominees.
Ah, IGN steht für Internationale Gesellschaft für Nutztierhaltung. Okay, gut. Nein, IGN steht tatsächlich für Imagine Games Network.
And the 2020 Gamescom Best of Award for Most Wanted Tech is the Xbox Series X. Congratulations. Coming later this year, the Xbox Series X is poised to be the most powerful console in history. Xbox fans around the world will soon be able to get their hands on this monstrosity.
Diese Aussage schon wieder. Natürlich ist das die beste, eine der besten Konsolen seit immer. Was ist das für eine Aussage? Wer verkauft denn eine Konsole, die schlechter ist als die Vorgängerkonsole? Außerdem gibt es nur zwei Konsolen. Es gibt im Prinzip nur die PlayStation und die Xbox, mehr nicht. Und die Switch zählt nicht. Wie gesagt, das ist eine total bekloppte Aussage.
Excited about the Xbox Series X, which bodes well for its release this holiday. Here to discuss just what's so exciting about Microsoft's next console, here's IGN's executive
Da kannst du auch eine Grafikkarte verkaufen. Die stärkste Grafikkarte in der Geschichte von Nvidia.
Thanks, Damon.
Ja, jede neue ist besser als die Vorgänger.
You know what really excites me about the Series X is just the technology that they packed inside this box. The fact that we're now getting this 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz Zen 2 CPU. We're getting the 12 teraflops GPU, the 16 gigs of DDR6 RAM that they're having in it, and of course that SSD, which is 1 terabyte, I believe, but just the speed that we're going to get, you know,
1 Terabyte SSD.
Things like this. I'm normally a big PC guy, but seeing the tech that's under the hood inside the Series X, it's going to compete with any of the high-end PCs that you're going to see this holiday. So it's very exciting.
Now, Microsoft calls it the most powerful console ever created. Bo, are you impressed by the Series X's specs?
You know, I'm just like Paris. I've been a PC guy, but I really am impressed by the Series X specs. You know, you've got the 12 teraflops. That's pretty much on par with a high-end gaming PC at this point. And especially for,
die PlayStation,
you know, we don't know the price of the Series X yet, but what we're expecting it to be, you know, somewhere in the absolute most $600, and hopefully much, much lower than that. To build a gaming PC at that price point, you're not going to get anywhere near that level of performance.
Now, the quick resume feature should let us switch between games super fast and instantly pick up where we left off. Paris, is that an exciting feature for you?
Absolutely, because it's something that we've not been able to experience in console gaming yet. And the fact that I could be playing, I don't know, Forza Horizon 4, and then I'll quickly be able to switch over to Gears 5 and resume from wherever I was playing from. I mean, that's when you start talking about next gen features of hardware, that's clearly one of the leaders.
Now, what about ray tracing, Bo? Is that an important new feature that's coming to Xbox Series X?
You know, I think it'll be very important in the long run, but for right now, at this beginning of the console generation, ray tracing is, yeah, it's going to look nice, but we might not even see it that much in terms of the Xbox implementations. And ray tracing is a really, really big performance hit. So once we get further through the generation and developers have had some time to actually work with this technology and implement Microsoft's solution to ray tracing, then yeah, I think we're going to see some really, really nice looking visuals.
Warte mal, war das jetzt ein Jein?
Now, one of the very unique advantages the Xbox Series X has is that it's going to be compatible with 4 generations of games. It's a feature that other consoles just don't have. Paris, do you think that's difficult to pull off?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be difficult to pull off. Think about just all the different type of architectures throughout the years that we've seen on these consoles. I mean, I know the Series X is more or less basically an x86 architecture PC, but when you go all the way back to the original Xbox, it was doing something completely different. 360 was doing something completely different all the way down the list. So they're doing some big time emulation under the hood, which again goes back to the fact that the technical specs of this hardware are very impressive that they're going to be able to pull something like this off.
Now, Paris, what game are you most excited to play on Xbox Series X?
I was really excited to play Halo Infinite this holiday. That's obviously getting delayed now, so we'll see that in 2021.
Aber die Frage ist doch, kann die Xbox Series X den Microsoft Flight Simulator in Ultra HD spielen? Also in Ultra-Einstellungen spielen?
How about you? Game you're most excited to play on Xbox Series X?
I think it's got to be Cyberpunk. You know, that game, from what we've seen, that
ich denke, irgendwann werden die PC so groß und so teuer sein wie ein PC. Ja, natürlich.
So much prettier the more that you can take advantage of the hardware.
Es sind doch auch im Prinzip Computer. Ein
For the
Computer für
Series X to
Idioten.
have that hardware to really be able to push out the frame rate and the resolution that we're going to be expecting for a high-end, beautiful-looking game.
Ein günstiger Computer
Yeah, the Series X
ohne
is
Individualität.
I want to play it on a Series X, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot wait to play Cyberpunk
Für
as well.
Leute, die sich halt nicht mit, keine Ahnung, zum Beispiel Programm beschäftigen wollen. Die wollen einfach nur installieren und spielen. Fertig.
Now, we've got tons of greatness to recognize during the Gamescom Best of Show Awards, but only a limited time to do it, so consider this an appetizer. But you can't eat it, guys. Now, it's not rushed, it's densely packed with awesome. Here are our genre winners.
Roundup. Was? Was? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 und 2. Sag mal, ist Tony Hawk eigentlich immer noch so ein Ding? Gibt's den immer noch? Also macht der immer noch? Project Cars 3. Best PC Game. Komisch, wieder Cyberpunk. Die gewinnen, glaube ich, in zu vielen Kategorien. Best Racing, Dirt 5. Guck mal, es ist doch noch irgendwie ein Rallye-Spiel anscheinend. Gut. Humankind, bestes Strategiespiel. Noch nie davon gehört. Borderlands 3 wurde letzte Gamescom schon angekündigt, ne? Und konnte man auch schon spielen. Ich meine nur. Gut, Mafia kann ich verstehen. Bestes Remaster. Ich glaube, das einzige Remaster.
So that was a world record speedrun of 7 different Gamescom Best of Show Award categories. Now let's take a moment to talk about a couple of these with Sydney. Now Sydney, which of these jumped out to you?
Yeah, what's up, Akeem?
Hey.
So I am just so enamored by Kiwi, which won Best Family Game, and it is just so cute. So it's these little kiwis, like the bird, not like the fruit. That would be a really weird game, and a very different game. But you're these little kiwis, and it's a puzzle game in the post office.
Kiwis.
So you are just these little
Meine
things, like,
Güte.
bouncing around, solving problems. I am usually very
Du
attracted
spielst
to like intensely
mit
stressful
Post,
games. But I
geleitet
have
von
been trying to play
Kiwis.
games that kind of just make me smile and are a little bit more relaxing and peaceful, and this definitely looks like it fits the bill.
Oh, absolutely, and it's something you can play with your family. Like, so what
Das
other
ist irgendwie,
titles
es ist
jumped
irgendwie
out at
knuffig.
you regarding
Keine Ahnung,
this list? I know you've
Das
got
ist
to be
irgendwie
looking forward to
knuffig.
Cyberpunk 2077. Am I right?
Obviously, Cyberpunk is on the list, and it's just so exciting to see every time that they give us a little tidbit more. You know, we got the first gameplay last Gamescom, actually, so it feels like a cute little anniversary of that of sorts. And in the most recent Night City Wire, we saw the
Okay, die
different
Kopfkarren
life
sehen
paths
halt
that you
echt
can
cool
take,
aus.
from Street Kid to Nomad to Corpo. But I just cannot wait to get my hands on this game come November.
Same. I'm a huge RPG fan, and so like I'm really looking forward to this, especially with the way that you get to
Beziehen sich diese Awards
experience
echt aus der letzten Ecke.
this particular RPG. Like I've
Man
never
konnte
I
ja für alle
haven't seen too
abstimmen,
many
ne? Also,
first-person
ich glaube, für
perspective
die meisten konnte man abstimmen, so ist
RPGs.
richtig.
So I'm definitely looking forward to
Aber
jumping in.
manchmal ist die Kategorie ein bisschen komisch.
Now, we also got some blasts from the past, you know, with, of course, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2
Keine Ahnung.
coming back.
Bestes Spiel mit blauem Hintergrund.
Mafia. Either of those games pique your interest?
Ich verstehe, was du meinst.
I was so young when I played Tony Hawk, so I'm definitely excited to play it and actually be a little bit more coherent and not just button mash the heck out of everything. But what stands out the most
ist eine ernst gemeinte Frage. Ist Tony Hawk wirklich noch so Ist Tony Hawk wirklich noch so im Business, dass der immer noch mit seinem Namen Geld machen kann? Weil bei Fußballern, die haben ihre 10 Jahre, wo sie relevant sind und danach weg. Danach will die keiner mehr.
Punk music or ska, but I do attribute my interest in it to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. I actually kind of jumped into the series with the Underground series, and I'm pretty sure like this is gonna be a successful launch. I mean, obviously it won Best Sports Game, and I know a lot of people have been anticipating this and waiting for this to come out. I'm hoping it's successful enough because I want to see an Underground remaster as well.
Activision has really been crushing it in terms of all of these remasters that they've been putting out. They did Crash,
Filme? 2017 Sharknado 5.
Tony Hawk, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it going.
Yeah, and of course, we have Dirt 5, which now I've never played.
Hat in Sharknado 5 mitgespielt.
Not to throw any dirt
Nicht kaufen das Spiel, nicht unterstützen.
And my own game prowess, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm interested in playing some Dirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be available on both Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, and it's coming out in October, so that'll definitely, I'm not sure when it officially, like the new generation's versions come out, if that's gonna be day and date with the new consoles, but you can definitely take advantage of it come whenever holiday 2020 and those consoles drop.
Yes. Now, of course, we got so many awesome winners. Sid, I gotta ask you, out of all of these winners, I know you're gonna play the majority of these, but which of these are you most excited to get your hands on and play?
Definitiv.
I mean, I think the most obvious answer is Cyberpunk, but since we already talked about it, I'm really interested in Humankind. It, again, is not a typical game for me. It's a 4X game, similar to Civ, but Civ is another game that I've never really been able to sit down long enough to sink my teeth in fully. But Humankind, you lead your civilization across 6 different eras of human civilization, and within each era you select a civilization. I just said civilization like 12 times, based on an actual historical society, and I really like history, so I'm just super excited about that game. I mean, I think it was last year at ONL during Gamescom, they debuted a trailer with the caveman DJing.
Ich versuche mir gerade ein Bild von diesem Spiel jetzt zu machen, ne? Von Humankind.
What about yourself, Hakeem?
Well, I gotta say, I actually, on the PS2, I actually missed the Mafia franchise, so I'm really looking forward to jumping into this particular remaster. Honestly, because as someone who's been a fan and been playing the Grand Theft Auto series since 3, this is a nice kind of like deviation from that particular aesthetic that we're used to. So I'm looking forward to jumping into that one. And since it's a remaster, it's going to be even better than what it would have been or than what it was on the PS2. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, Sid, I got to thank you so much for
Mafia
talking
1 war doch
games with
war das nicht ein Top-Down? Ein Top-Down-Spiel?
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Nee, Quatsch, warte mal.
Now we need to take a short break, but stick around because the Gamescom Best of Show Awards
rückwärts, nee, war's nicht.
right after this, including the awards for Best Streamer, Best Announcement, and of course, Best Overall Game. So stick around.
Was? Bester Streamer? Nehme ich gerne an. Danke.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite.
Ja, Mann, Speedruns, wir wissen es.
To peek into the minds of the developers while they watch their games.
Die denken sich wahrscheinlich,
That's exactly what happens in every episode of Game Devs React to speedruns.
Yeah, you can do that. Oh my god!
We invite you to ride along with the developers as they react to, question, and enjoy some of the most skilled players exploiting and speeding through a game.
Also in der Regel kann man sich doch denken, was die Entwickler sich dabei denken.
Join us every Saturday for a new episode.
Entweder du bist ein Entwickler, der einfach... Warte mal ganz kurz. Also entweder du bist halt ein Entwickler, der ein Spiel entwickelt, was halt echt auf die Story zählt, wo es drauf ankommt, dass du wirklich jede einzelne Stage erlebst, jedes einzelne Level erlebst, um dann halt deinen Charakter weiterzuentwickeln und entsprechend halt die Story zu verstehen, dann bist du natürlich ein bisschen angepisst über jemanden, der halt einen Speedrun macht und einfach alles abkürzt, der quasi schon nach dem ersten Level irgendwo runterjumpt und dann den finalen Boss niederkloppelt. Entweder ist es so, oder du hast halt ein Spiel, wo, keine Ahnung, es auf Zeit ankommt. Da freuen die sich natürlich, wenn irgendwer irgendeine Ecke findet, wo er durchglitschen kann. Das ist dann halt irgendwie lustig. Ja, cool. Er hat halt eine Möglichkeit gefunden, um halt ein bisschen sich alles zu vereinfachen. Aber was erwartet man denn bitteschön? Es gibt eigentlich nur die zwei Varianten. Entweder freuen sie sich oder sie finden es halt scheiße, weil ich würde es auch scheiße finden, wenn ich jahrelang an einem Spiel arbeite und dann kommt einer und macht die ganze Intention, die ich damit hatte, einfach direkt kaputt. Ja. Also mit anderen Worten, ich glaube, das kann man sich auch sparen. Und IGN so, ne? Wie viel Werbung wollt ihr haben? Ja. Da vergleichen sie dann 50.000 Jahre zwei Konsolen. Klasse. Ich frage mich ja, wie lange die Xbox Series X dann bestehen bleibt. Also, keine Ahnung, wie viele Jahre hat man damit Freude? 4? Und dann wird wieder ausgetauscht? Gut, weitergehen.
Welcome back to the 2020 Gamescom Best of Show Awards. We've still got tons more huge awards to come, including Best Overall Game. Contrary to popular belief, that doesn't mean the best game starring someone wearing overalls. Obviously, that award would go to one of the Super Mario games. Probably not Dr. Mario, though, because he doesn't wear overalls with that one. Anyway, Damon, what's up next?
To an outsider, streaming might look like playing a video game while other people watch. But there's much more to it. The best streamers play host, commentator, entertainer, moderator, and community manager, all while, you know, playing a video game without dying. Now, Twitch's very own Mary Kish will be here in just a moment to help me reveal the winner for this next award. But first, here are the Gamescom Best of Show nominees for Best Streamer.
Danke, 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 danke. Die haben meinen Namen falsch. Die haben meinen Namen falsch geschrieben. Ist durchaus möglich. Wer ist der Grunk? Kennt man den? Echt jetzt? Gronk ist als bester Streamer nominiert?
A huge congratulations to Gronk for winning Best Streamer. And
Okay,
joining me
cool.
right now to discuss it is
Finde ich gut.
Seb. How you doing, buddy?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, I guess the first question I have is, you know, what would you attribute Gronk's popularity to?
Gronk.
Oh well, man. There's a lot actually, but I think the biggest part is that he's so close to his fans and he just loves everyone. He spends
YouTube-Papa.
a
Natürlich,
massive
klar.
amount of time greeting everyone, hugging everyone, and I mean this.
Oh ja, in Zeit von
I'm
Corona,
very
jeden
serious about
umarmen.
this because he spends 8 hours per day every year greeting
Hier,
every
Gronk war wahrscheinlich
single
damals der
fan
ursprüngliche
that stands in line, and
Corona-Superspreader.
That's just amazing.
Sag ich euch. Damals bei der letzten Gamescom.
That is pretty amazing. I don't know too many streamers that are that would
Gronk
even,
war Patient Null.
be that accommodating to their fans.
Nee,
And
ganz ehrlich.
he's been streaming
Gronk ist ein
for
guter.
quite some time. He's been in this game for quite a while. I guess, you know, how would you like describe Gronk's influence in the streaming world? Because he's been doing this for quite some time.
Well, let's say that he has some kind of a family and he's really well connected. And
Ja,
and
die
I mean,
La
streaming is
Familia,
not
ne?
the only thing he does. He also does some dubbing for video games and for movies and for basically everything. He's been around for ages, as you said. I don't want to say he's the oldest streamer we have. That would be not fair to him. He's still very, very fit, very young, and he's appealing to basically every single age group, I guess.
Yeah, I noticed. Like I looked it up. He's
find's auch
one
cool.
is of 4
hat's
popular
auch verdient.
streamers in Germany. Is that true?
Well, I would even say he's the most successful, best known streamer in all of Germany. Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt.
Naja,
about it.
na
I can
gut,
tell
warte
you
mal.
that.
Wir haben dann noch Montana Black,
Now,
der kommt
Seb,
halt auch.
it seems like you're a huge fan of Gronk, so I'm kind of
Aber
curious. Like,
er ist der mit dem guten Gewissen.
I'm curious, which one of his streams kind of like brought you into the Gronk fold? Like, which one were you introduced to? Like, which one of his Let's Plays?
Well, to be very honest, it wasn't even a Let's Play.
Er
It
ist
was
nicht der
basically
Größte,
the
aber er ist
fact
der Beste,
that
würde ich
When
sagen.
you go to Gamescom, and that's the one thing that everyone knows about Gamescom and Gronk, or as his real name is not Gronk, his real name is Eric. That when you go to Gamescom and you want to meet him, that's your chance. But you might have to queue for a very long time, and some people queue all day, and they're in line all day, even in the heat. But he's there too. He's with them, and his whole crew is there. And that's basically a fact that I don't want to say I'm his biggest fan, but that's something that brought me closer to that idea of who streamers are and what they do for the community, because that's something that's very, very special.
Ja, die haben meinen Namen da falsch geschrieben, es tut mir leid.
Stories and why they love him. So that's basically the main reason for me liking him.
Ich werde da mal anschreiben, werde sagen, das geht so nicht.
I've been told by one of my producers that you actually have a picture with Gronk. So.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, this is something that when we worked together last year at Gamescom and we did this segment, we basically interviewed him for that massive fan gathering. Of course, I had to show up and I had to ask him some questions, because it was all day long. It was in the heat, and everyone was sweating. And I wanted to know how is that possible that he basically is so available and accessible to everyone and shares his stories and basically has people sharing their stories with him, and doesn't get fed up. He never, at least that's what it seems, he never gets fed up and just turns around and leaves and says, well, guys, I'm the biggest streamer, I'm fed up and I gotta leave. And that's never happened, actually.
Das ist halt echt der Vorteil von Gronk, der ist halt eben nicht abgehoben. Manche Streamer sind halt irgendwann ab einem gewissen Level einfach abgehoben.
The award I'm about to present is a little bit meta. This streaming show you're watching isn't the only one to take place during Gamescom. So our next award is to recognize some of the other live-streamed presentations that have been bringing the Gamescom experience to viewers around the world. And it's you, those very viewers who have voted on the winner. Here are the 2020 nominees for Best Livestream Show or Gamescom Special.
World of Tanks hat eine Show gehabt? Okay. Die habe ich mitgekriegt. Hier in die Arena Booth.
And now, the winner of the Gamescom 2020 Award for Best Show is Wargaming.
Aber ich finde die Einkategorisierung finde ich ein bisschen komisch, weil World of Tanks Blitz, Doom und halt diese Indie-Arena Boost in eine Kategorie zu packen, das ist irgendwie, ich weiß nicht. Das fühlt sich nicht gut an.
Here to discuss Best Show winner Wargaming is Tom Putski from Wargaming and Sebastian Osowski, one of the voters of the Gamescom Awards. First of all, Tom, congratulations.
Thank you so much. We are very thrilled and amazed, and it's especially fantastic because it was a voting category from the audience.
Yeah, of course, Gamescom has been different for everyone this year, but Wargaming usually has one of the biggest, baddest, loudest booths at Gamescom.
Ja, das stimmt.
So, how was it? How do you keep your audience happy, your community happy when you can't be there in person with a big spectacle?
It's a tough job, to put it like this. This situation is very special for all of us, and it's brand new, and yeah, we are learning constantly. We try to do our best to put on a digital show for a digital Gamescom. So we had streams to all 4 days, and Twitch drops, and reward program participation, sweepstakes, community stream, and so on and so on and so on. And we even aired the Sabaton concert, which was happening live at Gamescom last year, once more for our audience. But as I said, it's different and it's tough. And at the moment, we are so much looking forward
für Portable, ne? Für Handy,
year,
für Switch, keine Ahnung.
Normal Gamescom, to put it like
this.
Das
ist halt
and
aus dem letzten Jahrhundert gefühlt, ne?
Our players and the industry.
Das könntest du im PC-Spieler kannst du es nicht mehr anbieten.
Person and celebrate Wargaming style.
So sieht halt Warzone aus.
I think everyone is looking forward to that. Sebastian, what did you think of Wargaming show this year?
I mean, he just said it. Celebrate Gamescom, Wargaming style. This year has been so different, and I had high hopes that they would finally get an award, and especially this award is so special because it's, as he already said, it's from the community for wargaming, and whoever comes to Gamescom knows that you come to Gamescom and you will get a hell of a show from wargaming. Tom already mentioned
Wargaming übertreibt bei jeder Gamescom. Wenn du da hingehst, verlierst du dein Gehör in erster Linie. Und wenn du Glück hast, kriegst du ein bisschen Loot. Aber in erster Linie verlierst du dein Gehör, weil die übertreiben halt enorm. Also wenn du neben der Wargaming-Halle warten musst, neben dem Wargaming-Stand, verabschiede dich von deinem Gehör.
Yeah, World of Tanks Blitz, our mobile version of the game. Is after the platforms Mac OS, Steam, PC, iOS, Android, now finally
Aber natürlich kann er direkt in Fahrt reparieren.
And this makes us very proud and very happy. And a whole new community can play this game and drive some tanks and shoot at some enemies.
Well, that sounds like a really good time. Tom, congratulations once again. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll be back in person next year to see another gigantic, huge wargaming booth. We're going to take a quick break, but right after that, we'll be back with more from the Gamescom Awards.
Da kann ich wieder reden. Sehr gut. Wie gesagt, Wargaming, wenn du da auf der Gamescom neben warten musst, also wenn du neben dem Wargaming-Stand wartest, dann, du tust mir dann leid, du tust mir halt wirklich, wirklich leid. Die haben halt eine Wahnsinnsshow, das stimmt in der Tat. Die geben wahnsinnig viel Keys weg, die geben auch wahnsinnig viel Loot weg, also du kannst Tastaturen, Mäuse, irgendwelche Unterlagen kannst du gewinnen, was kannst du noch alles gewinnen? Die haben allen möglichen Scheißverlust, also natürlich Taschen und so weiter, klar, aber halt auch wirklich hochwertigen Stuff. Und das finde ich echt bei Wargaming cool. Problem ist halt nur, die Leute, die drumherum stehen, wissen das. Also die Wahrscheinlichkeit, da was zu ergattern, ist relativ gering, tatsächlich. Ist wirklich relativ gering. Gerade auch wenn es so schwere Sachen sind. Also wenn die zum Beispiel so eine ganze Tastatur verschenken, so eine relativ schwere, massive Tastatur mit Packung noch drumherum, das schmeißen die halt nicht in die Masse. Hier, bitteschön, einen voll ausgestatteten Rechner. Rums. Am nächsten Tag steht in der Zeitung, dass du ein 5-jähriges Kind erschlagen hast, was zufällig da war. Gut, das 5-jährige Kind hat jetzt einen Rechner, aber ist halt tot. Ich muss tatsächlich noch mal gucken, die haben garantiert doch während der Gamescom noch irgendwelche Codes aktiviert. Ich muss vielleicht mal bei Wargaming gleich noch mal reingucken. Das einzige Spiel, was ich von denen ja noch aktiv spiele, ist ja tatsächlich World of Warships. Und was das angeht, hätte ich mir wirklich vielleicht auch diese Gamescom, also die letzte Gamescom dann in dem Fall, klassische Gamescom, was gesichert. Irgendwelche Codes. Halt irgendwelchen Ingame-Stuff. Aber übrigens nur mal so nebenbei, nicht nur Wargaming macht halt Loot. Also es gibt eine Menge andere, die halt auch eine Menge Loot verteilen, aber Wargaming ist halt da eine wirkliche Konstante. Also die machen ordentlich Loot. Jedes Jahr. Und wenn wir ehrlich sind, wir wissen alle, woher die das Geld haben und dass die sich das auch leisten können. Und weiter geht's.
Welcome back to the Gamescom Best of Show Awards. Every year, thousands of new games get released worldwide across a variety of platforms and devices. And it's not slowing down anytime soon. This is great news for gamers, but bad news for our backlogs. For our next category, we turn the voting over to you, the gamers. And here are the nominees for your most wanted new game.
Ach, das sind unsere, okay. Ich wollte ja auch abstimmen, aber ich habe den Link nicht gefunden, die Möglichkeit nicht gefunden. Komm, ich will jetzt den Microsoft Flight Simulator irgendwo sehen. Ja, Valhalla. Okay. Bitte nicht. Wo ist mein Flight Simulator?
2020 Most Wanted Award is
Cyberpunk
2077.
Ui, welche Überraschung.
I couldn't agree more. CD Projekt Red have already set a high bar and Cyberpunk looks like it just might be their best game yet.
Rice, da hast du vollkommen recht.
To CD Projekt Red.
Thank you so much for voting us with Cyberpunk 2077 to be the most wanted game of Gamescom 2020. It's been quite a journey, right? We've announced Cyberpunk quite a while ago, all the way back in 2000.
Denkt sich so, ach, wieder Cyberpunk, du, ja, danke.
We can't wait for you all to get your hands on it and finally be able
Hier, dieser tolle Award. Danke für den tollen Award.
And joining me now is none other than Bruce Green. Hey, Bruce.
So ungefähr.
Oh my gosh, Sid, it is so good.
Also so fühlt sich, glaube ich, der Entwickler bei Cyberpunk.
It really has. But speaking of things that are taking so long, Cyberpunk 2077, one most wanted game.
I think for the longest time when I was reporting on Inside Gaming, this was 7 years ago. We were talking about how the game may come out in 2018, it may come out in 2022. So I think we're getting a little lucky here, getting it in 2020.
Yeah, this is like technically, I mean, since when it's ready is kind of infinity, we're actually it's coming out early, kind of.
That's right. Yes. No.
Karren sehen halt echt
I mean,
cool aus.
we've had those 2 delays, right? We got delayed in. It was supposed to be in April, then it was in September, and now it's in November. Do we think the game is actually coming out in November? Sid, do you think so?
I was gonna ask that, but I didn't want to curse this. You know, I think that given the circumstances of the pandemic and all this stuff, I would be very understanding if they had to push it for polish. Like, I mean, I think in general, most players, I would hope, would be understanding of the fact that times are weird. I'm sure it's difficult to judge a timeline for a game in a situation that has never happened before. However,
absolutely.
I'm hoping it doesn't get pushed. Wegen der WOT-Sache, also World of Tanks ist in allererster Linie ziemlich hart unbalanced. Das Problem ist nämlich, du kannst halt in manchen Matches einfach nichts reißen. In WoWS kannst du halt immer noch auf höheren Stufen irgendwie gut gegen ankommen. Du hast halt immer noch eine Chance, wenn du dein Schiff kannst.
So we could actually, it could still be the savior of quarantine, just a
Im
little
WOT
bit
bist
late.
du einfach
It'll be the savior of holidays and the
zu
savior
starke
of the new year,
Panzerung,
and it'll be
das
what
war's.
everybody looks forward to for 2021. So.
Perfect. No, I love that spin. I love that spin. But I mean, there's a reason why people are so excited for this game, right? I mean, they've shown us tons of trailers. We're excited about that. But CD Projekt Red as a developer,
Übrigens, dieses Spiel, das wird der Albtraum für jeden YouTuber, der das bringen möchte. Das wird der Albtraum für jeden YouTuber.
What are you hoping that they bring
Nacktheit,
from The Witcher 3
exzessive Gewalt,
into
Schimpfwörter.
Cyberpunk?
Die Demonetarisierungswelle, die wird rollen, wird die.
It's one of those games, if you look back on the Witcher series, obviously they're highly acclaimed, and The Witcher 3 is probably one of the greatest games of all time.
Die haben ja gesagt, sie wollen gerade so Sachen wie sexuelle Handlung aktiv mit reinbringen. Also die sind kein Tabuthema. Drogen, stimmt, Drogen sind auch noch mit dabei. Auch kein Tabuthema. Dass du halt auch sehr stark Gewalt anwendest, mit Blut, viel drum und dran. Auch mit drin. Und halt Schimpfwörter. Das sind so ziemlich alle Dinge, die du halt falsch machen kannst, um dein Video zu monetarisieren. Alle weg.
Correctly. I don't even know. Did I?
I don't either.
Geralt.
I always say Geralt, but is that wrong? I don't. Geralt? I mean, it could be anything.
Sprech doch einmal Deutsch, Jungs.
Henry Cavill pronunciation. Does he ever say his name in the television show? Because obviously, who doesn't trust Henry Cavill, right? So I trust Henry Cavill.
Bruce, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been a ton of fun. Now, let's check out what Akeem's up to with another award.
At Gamescom, dozens of publishers are showcasing all their brand new upcoming games they're releasing, as well as ongoing games getting continued support throughout the year and beyond. Here are the Gamescom Best of Show nominees for Best Lineup.
Best Lineup. Okay, klar. Ja, bei Namco, ne? Das Spiel muss ich hab's mir immer noch nicht angeguckt. 12 Minutes, ich muss mir das noch angucken.
And the winner of Best Lineup here at Gamescom 2020 is Bandai Namco.
Och nee, ey.
Bandai Namco came out swinging for 2020, showing off an impressive stable of great games like Project Cars 3, Little Hope, Scarlet Nexus, Captain Tsubasa, Jump Force, Little Nightmares 2, and so many more. Now, it's an incredibly diverse set of offerings, and it's why Bandai Namco are our 2020 winners.
Alles Spiele, die
Now,
ich
let's hear
nie
what they had
spielen
to say
werde.
about their win for Best Lineup.
Also, yay.
Hi everyone, I'm Arno Müller. I'm the COO of Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe. I want to address my thanks to all the fans of our games. We hope you're delighted with the content and the lineup that we present this year at Gamescom.
Ich habe mich doch gefragt, wer diese abgedrehten Spiele entwickelt, ne? Wer dahinter steht. Hinter My Little Nightmares. Der da.
Congrats to Bandai Namco for winning
ich hab's ihn
Best
abgekauft.
Lineup from the Gamescom Awards. Right now I'm joined by Wout van Voot from Bandai Namco to discuss this very lineup. And we are also joined again by Sebastian Osowski. First of all, Wout, congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're very happy with the award. Thank you for everybody who voted and everybody involved.
Also Rise, dass die Tatsache mit Ammo-Muni, also das Muni hochgeht, die ist aber bei WoWS gegeben. Da gibt es dann die Deto und dann war's das.
Seems like you have a very diverse lineup. You've got racing covered, anime games, horror games, flight combat. Let's run down the lineup here. Let me know if I'm leaving anything out. You've got several games that I think just launched yesterday, at least here in North America. Project Cars 3, Jump Force Deluxe Edition for Switch, Captain Tsubasa. You also have Little Nightmares 2 coming out early next year. Dark Pictures Little Hope, which is coming out October 30th, just in time for Halloween. Scarlet Nexus, which is a 2021 game, and then DLC for Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. Anything I missed, Wout?
Das ist was
No,
für
I think
Henrik.
you covered it quite well.
Henrik noch da?
It's very exciting times at Bandai Namco, as you can tell.
Yeah. Sebastian, what do you think made the Bandai Namco lineup so strong this year?
Well, I'm German, so it's definitely Captain Tsubasa because it's it's nostalgia for me.
Ja, in WoT, aber ich meinte ja, wie in WoWS gibt's das ja, in WoT halt nicht. Das war die Aussage.
And it was basically like we had another anime which was Mela, but it was volleyball, and this one is basically the opposite to it. So everyone was talking about it back in elementary school. So this is like going back to elementary school and meeting all your friends. So this is my personal favorite of all times.
Wow, that's
Excellent.
awesome.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And well, that's another game that came out yesterday. Well, also Little Nightmares 2 won Best Trailer from Gamescom this year, and I have to agree that trailer is very cool, very creepy.
Ja,
very
very
nice
creepy,
to
das
finally
ist in
hear
der
a
Tat
little
der
bit more
Fall.
about Little Nightmares 2 since it was revealed at Gamescom last year. What aside from the trailer, what can we expect in Little Nightmares 2 when it launches early next year?
Well, like I think you covered most of it, right? Like it's a perfect kind of throwback to your childhood fears and then how you deal with them, and like for people who played Little Nightmares 1, like
Meine Frage, hatte einer eine von diesen Ängsten als Kind? Ich nicht. Ich hatte mal die Angst, dass ich verfolgt werde, klar, von so einem Yeti oder so, was weiß ich. Aber das war's dann auch großartig. So eine abgefuckte Scheiße habe ich mir, so eine abgefuckte Scheißangst hatte ich nicht. Wer hatte vor sowas Angst? Wer hat vor sowas geträumt?
Do you think adding the AI companion affects the horror in any way? Does it make it more or less scary?
Wer träumt von sowas? Oder sowas?
Like in a way, kind of. Like, it depends on how you look at it,
Ich habe auch mal Angst gehabt, dass ich irgendwo runterfalle und dann halt kurz vom Aufprall bin ich aufgewacht. Das waren meine Kindheitsängste, die ich geträumt habe. Aber das doch nicht. Das ist einfach nur verstörend. Hart verstörend.
Gotcha. I'm super excited to check out more of Little Nightmares 2.
Ja, nee,
What's the release date for that? Is it February 11th?
Ich gar nicht.
Yes, 2021. Awesome. Yeah,
perfect. Well, wow, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations once again on winning Best Lineup.
No worries, and thanks to all the fans who keep supporting Bandai Namco. We're extremely excited about our lineup, both the titles coming from Japan, as well as the titles being developed in Europe. And watch out,
also wenn ein Publisher komplett irrelevant für mich ist, dann ist es Bandai Namco.
All right, stay tuned. More
also
from
wirklich,
Gamescom Awards coming up right after this.
Da reizt mich so gut wie gar nichts dran an Bandai Namco. Nein, keine Werbung. Keine Werbung. Hör auf. Böse. Ich hatte auch schon tatsächlich überlegt, ob ich mir Gamescom-Merch hole, aber dann habe ich mir so gedacht, Gamescom 2020, du warst halt nicht da. Was willst du mit Gamescom 2020 Merch von einer Messe, die nie stattgefunden hat in der Form? Also Gamescom 2019 Merch zum Beispiel in dem Falle wäre dann so gewesen nach dem Motto, ich war dabei. Ich war vor Ort, ich habe sie vor Ort gekauft. Aber 2020 ist halt, ja, ich sitze daheim und bestelle sie online. Der Spaß geht bis um 10, ja, ich glaube schon. Die Dame hat vorhin zwar gesagt, 1 Stunde lang, aber ich vermute mal, sie hat sich da versprochen. Weil angekündigt waren 2 Stunden, bis um 10. Aber wir haben auch später angefangen, von daher wahrscheinlich 10:15. Und wenn die jetzt noch 50.000 Mal IGN-Werbung machen, dann dauert das wahrscheinlich noch länger, deutlich länger. Also es waren tatsächlich ein paar Überraschungen gerade dabei. Zum Beispiel, dass Gronk halt einer der Gewinner von unter besten Streamern war. Fand ich cool. Fand ich wahnsinnig cool. Wie lange gehen diese Werbepausen? Eigentlich nicht lange. 1 bis 2 Minuten, aber trotzdem, es sind halt viele. Die sehe ich jetzt schon zum 3., 4. Mal. Und es ist halt immer exakt die gleiche.
Hey there! Do you have opinions on games, movies, TV, or other weird stuff on the internet? You can take part in our new show Power Ranking, where you...
Die machen sich gerade, glaube ich, hart unbeliebt. Ich weiß nicht warum, aber ich glaube, IGN macht sich gerade... Versteht ihr warum? Die macht sich bei mir zumindest gerade hart unbeliebt. Man könnte ja IGN theoretisch auf eine Blocklist setzen, dann kriegst du das nie wieder angezeigt. Ich meine, die dürfen auch Werbung machen, sollen auch Werbung machen, aber die übertreiben es ein ganz klein wenig, finde ich. So ein bisschen.
And with so many games constantly getting revealed, getting the community to focus its attention on one more new release can pose quite a challenge for developers. Let's check out the nominees for Best Announcement.
For EST Announcement. Best Announcement. Überlegen. Ja, Fall Guys, obwohl das war jetzt nicht das beste Announcement. Nein, das definitiv nicht. Ja, das könnte, weil es halt wirklich eine Neuerung. Das hier. Also entweder Fall Guys oder das hier. Dieses Unknown 9 oder wie es glaube ich heißt.
Best announcement of Gamescom 2020 is Unknown 9 Awakening from Reflector Entertainment. Awakening is just our entry point into the universe of Unknown 9, which the creators are touting as a story world. We can also expect associated novels, audio content, and much more. Huge congratulations to the Reflector team.
Hey, I'm Lexi, the IP producer from Reflector, and we're so excited and humbled by this award for Best Announcement.
Warum holen die eigentlich manchmal solche Motivationsgranaten vor die Kamera? Hallo, ich bin wie hieß sie nochmal? Ist ja komplett egal.
And the story world that she's a part of. Everyone at Reflector, be proud of this moment. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you, everyone.
Joining me now is Alexis Audier, an IP producer over at Reflector Entertainment, and we have Mary Kish both to talk with us about the Best Announcement Award going to Unknown 9 Awakening.
Diese Show hier gerade wird ja gerade geleitet von IGN, also das ist ja deren Produktion. Die dürfen deswegen ja auch durchaus Werbung machen, aber die übertreiben es halt. Das ist diese Art von Werbung, die dann halt irgendwann hart nervig wird.
Yeah, what's so fascinating about this is that you've created not just a trailer, but there's a whole underworld of lore that you're starting to sprinkle to interested audiences. And I think that's a part of why everybody's really engaging with this new game concept. Not only do you have a trailer, but you've created websites. If you stop the trailer at certain places, you can get little secrets that take you to certain places. And there's puzzles to be uncovered. This is really incredible. You probably don't want to tell me too much about it, but what can you tell me?
Warum hat die einen Hotdog bei sich im Zimmer stehen? Die hat einen riesen Hotdog bei sich hinten im Zimmer stehen. Warum?
campaign going on that is a narrative-driven or community-driven narrative experience, interactive online on our microsite. And it's headed by Reflector and a local studio in Montreal called Allison Smith. And each week for the next 6 months, you can tune in and play puzzles and uncover rewards and things like that will maybe help you later on in the game. I don't know. That's a little tip.
Warte mal, gibt es von Gerald die Frau?
Well, so
Moment, ich überlege.
Inspired you and your team to decide that this is the way you want to announce the game?
Ich glaube, ich weiß, was ihr meint. Aber warum hat die einen Hotdog hinten stehen?
The whole background of Reflector is that we're really after creating a universe and a story world. So we have multiple products that we want people to dive in, and each product stands alone on its own, like it can be consumed on its own. But if people consume everything as a whole,
ist das so ein Hotdog-Kostüm für einen Hund?
Sort of a broader,
so ein 5-Meter-Hund?
overarching meta-narrative that's woven throughout. So really, we're trying to give fans a customized journey, a customized of their own journey through our universe.
Yeah, and actually, Mary, when we were talking, I was going to say stalking. We were not stalking. We were talking about how.
Wenn mit ihrem Freund oder Mann dann sagt, heute mal Rollenspiel und dann holt sie das Hotdog-Kostüm raus. RIP. RIP.
Yeah, it was really cool how many different aspects to the site there were. In addition to solving this puzzle, this secret, there's also a personality test that let me know what kind of puzzle solver I am, which I found pretty fascinating. And also there was different types of media you could enjoy to understand the lore of what this world Unknown 9 is.
Wo ist mein Hotdog-Kostüm? Ich habe kein Hotdog-Kostüm im Hintergrund.
Has nothing to do with Haruna or the current world of the game, well, at least as far as I know. And the comic is pretty fascinating because it also has to do with the fold, which I'm not entirely sure exactly what the fold is, but we do know that it's definitely stops or at least allows us to change the current state of time and place. And so people can actually move around or stop time or move in ways that you and I wouldn't be able to process. So I found that really fascinating that I was able to delve into a comic in addition to being interested about this game. And it is connected because it's all being talked about in these secrets that are in the trailer itself.
Ich habe jetzt nicht ganz aufgepasst. Welche Rolle haben die in der Firma?
It's really fascinating to me that
das sind ja zwei unterschiedliche Positionen anscheinend bei der Firma.
Have all this lore. It seems like this world has actually been in existence for some time before the game actually took place. Is that correct?
Eine von den beiden müsste, glaube ich, die Chefentwicklerin sein und die andere könnte vielleicht die.
We've been
ich habe keine Ahnung.
Around for the last couple of years, just developing stuff. But right now, we really wanted
vielleicht blenden sie ja nochmal die Namen ein.
Put the transmedia experience at the forefront for fans.
Ich bin der Hotdog.
When they see the game, like you said, the comic book isn't about Haruna
Kann ich
who's in the game, but it's a totally different story. And like I said, we're building a completely rich, immersive story world that people can consume all of these products.
Normalerweise würden sie jetzt Hotdog-Werbung auf der Gamescom machen.
Once they consume everything, they'll start to see the interconnections of the different plots and characters that are woven throughout. So things that you will learn and see in the game, you could end up seeing in other products as well, but you just have to stick around long enough to find out.
Mm-hmm. And then real quick, because we're almost out of time, but Alexis, why is video games as like the storytelling medium to introduce fans to the world of Unknown 9?
Well, I mean, we're introducing the world to Unknown 9 through the video game because we're trying to enhance the gamer experience through this immersive story world that transcends the media that they're gonna play in the game.
Und sie hat einfach eine Disco-Lampe oben rechts.
We know that we have a really cool thing going on with the game, and we want people to see the larger world at stake here.
Mary, thank you so much for joining us. And Alexis, again, huge thank you to you and your team. Now, why don't we go see what Akim's up to?
Es könnte sein, dass sie die Projektleiterin ist tatsächlich. Weil ihr Team
A
ist
great
gerade.
game trailer combines the best aspects of video games and cinema, cluing players in on what a game has in store while presenting the story in a way that gets them excited without revealing too much. And on the other hand, nobody ever complains about seeing a vertical slice of gameplay that concisely explains what players will be doing in a game. Either way, both are something to celebrate. Here are the Gamescom Best of Show nominees for Best Presentation or Trailer.
Für ihr Gesicht kann sie ja nichts. Das, was du unter jetzt dämlich aussehen verstehst, das ist halt, dafür kann sie ja nichts. Aber sie war nicht gerade motivierend, wenn du das meinst, ja. Das ist mir auch aufgefallen. Sie wirkte so ein bisschen demotiviert. Ja, der Star Wars Trailer war echt cool. Best Presentation, ich würd Star Wars sagen. Star Wars war
And our Gamescom 2020 winner for Best Presentation or Trailer is Little Nightmares 2.
Warum?
With the terrifying teacher character,
Warum bekomme ich andauernd dieses Dreckspiel, was ich nie spielen wollen würde? Warum bekomme ich das andauernd vorgesetzt? Ach, guck mal hier, dieses Spiel, was dich überhaupt nicht interessiert. Und hier nochmal dieses Spiel, das gleiche, was dich nicht interessiert.
Hello Gamescom, I am Pierre from Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe, and on behalf of the whole Little Nightmares team, I really want to say that we are super humbled to receive this prize this year. I want to say thank you to Tage Studio and of course Nach Rekordergebnissen to help us realize the vision of Little Nightmares into a short 2-minute trailer. But we can't wait to see your reaction for the game itself when it comes out early next year.
Meine Reaction? Hier, bitteschön.
Congratulations to Bandai Namco and the team behind Little Nightmares 2 for winning Best Trailer from Gamescom. I'm once again joined by Paris Lilly and Sebastian Osowski.
Ich fand den Star Wars Trailer echt gut.
All about the trailer, and it's great. Sebastian is actually
Nein, ich will nicht über diesen Trailer sprechen.
It's great to have him here. I have to agree, this is a very cool trailer. It definitely gave me the spookies. Remember when the first Little Nightmares was revealed at Gamescom a few years back, I was immediately captivated by the sort of Tim Burton-esque world that it was presenting. And then it turned out the gameplay was good enough to match the visuals. I think IGN gave it an 8.8.
Ich finde es einfach nur verstörend. Ich habe das den ersten Teil mir mal angeguckt beim Streamer. Ich fand es einfach nur hart verstörend.
Little Nightmares 2.
I mean, my biggest fear always was that the second would be toned down in terms of like how scary it would be, because people usually, when they're scared, they try to make it appeal to a bigger audience with a sequel. But this one seems scary as I don't know what, but this one really freaked me out. It looks great.
Yeah, I have to agree. There's several moments.
Waren ja dieses Jahr gar nicht so arg viele Spiele, dass du da wirklich eine krasse Auswahl hättest.
Paris,
das Angebot war ja relativ ausgedünnt. Weil die meisten Spiele sind halt wirklich noch in der Entwicklung und halt noch nicht draußen. Also die meisten Spiele haben es halt noch bis zur Gamescom gar nicht geschafft.
Yeah, Paris, have you played either Limbo or Inside?
Yes, I played both of those, and I got that vibe from it as well. So absolutely.
Yeah, I think those are pretty close comparisons, although those.
Und ich sag mal so, die wenigen, die halt noch da sind,
so for this one, they're adding an
werden halt
AI
oft nominiert.
That's controlled by the computer. It's a little unclear to me.
Und ich glaube, das jetzt hier, das sind jetzt hier die Nominierungen, die Leute gemacht haben, das Zuschauervoting.
Can I go back to that one scene that really freaked me out, which is the most terrifying scene ever, because it's a teacher turning around, and I didn't see it correctly, I think, but it looks like she's really angry with the students, and it reminds me of my school time. So this one really.
Warte mal, meinte er ist Deutscher, ne? Hat er vorhin erzählt.
Regarding the co-op companion, I don't think this has been.
In welcher Schule zum Teufel war er, wo er geschlagen wurde?
This looks like my school teacher. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, we recently got to go hands-on with a preview.
Hands-on, und da läuft eine Hand durch die Gegend.
Brendan Graver was, I think he thoroughly enjoyed what he played so far. He also played the original game.
Oh, this one. Oh my God.
Yeah,
this one.
We've also got a release date for Little Nightmares 2. It's coming February 11th.
Oh doch, ich hatte auch mal früher in der Schulzeit das Gefühl, dass ich eine Klausur verpasst habe, die nie geschrieben wurde. Also in der Realität natürlich nie geschrieben wurde. Keine Ahnung, hatte ich Angst, dass ich eine Mathe-Klausur verpasst habe, eine wichtige. Aber in der Realität wurde die halt nie geschrieben. Ich bin dann aufgewacht und dann war die Welt wieder in Ordnung. Aber die Leute haben hier Ängste, meine Güte. Oh mein Gott, meine Angst, dass eine Hand auf mich zugelaufen kommt, eine abgetrennte Hand aus meiner Kindheit, die wurde wahr und wurde in dieses Spiel überführt.
Paris, how do you tend to like your horror games? This it's not presenting a realistic world here, like we're saying. It's very Tim Burton-esque, sort of fantastic. Do you appreciate that, or do you like a little bit more of a realistic horror setting?
Oh, no, I appreciate this style, but I'm definitely the type that wants to play with one eye closed. You know what I mean? So, but this looks
Warum hat der eigentlich einen Cyberpunk-Stuhl? Der hat einen Cyberpunk-Stuhl.
I love just the visual, artistic style that they're going for in this. It looks fantastic.
So, Seb, after you played the first game, is there anything that you sort of wish could be changed or could be addressed for the sequel?
Well, to make it more accessible, sometimes the controls were a little difficult. I can't judge if this has changed much, but this was basically the only concern I had, aside from the potentially like toning it down a bit. But yeah, I'm very positive about this. It looks great. It feels great. So from what I've seen, there's only positive things to say.
Yeah, I agree. Little Nightmares 2 is looking very cool. Once again, it's coming February 11th, 2021, so we don't have to wait all that long to play for it. It's going to be on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Ihr müsst aber nur noch 2020 überleben und danach könnt ihr dieses Spiel spielen, wenn ihr daran interessiert seid.
We'll be right back very soon with more Gamescom Awards.
Wieder Werbung?
If you haven't seen the teaser trailer for the upcoming Summoners War Sky Arena
Nein, will ich nicht. Ganz ehrlich, bevor du My Little Nightmares 2 spielst, musst du erstmal im Real Life durch My Little Nightmares 1. Beziehungsweise My Little Nightmares 2020. Und das sind keine Little Nightmares, das sind große Nightmares.
Summoners War.
Habe ich übrigens erwähnt, dass ich schon viel zu viel Werbung machen. Und vor allen Dingen immer die gleiche Werbung. Es ist ja nicht irgendeine neue, es ist ja immer die gleiche. Kann es sein, dass Streamlabs offline ist? Auf YouTube ist der Bot irgendwie hart offline seit einer Zeit. Ich weiß aber nicht, woran das liegt. Ich kann dir leider echt nicht sagen, woran das liegt. Kann man was ausprobieren? Nein.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide. The next generation of video gaming is on the horizon, and IGN is here to bring you the latest PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Ich habe es gedacht, der hängt vielleicht noch in einem alten Streaming-Tool drin rum, aber da ist der auch nicht aktiv. Ich weiß nicht, also die Bot-Steuerung auf YouTube funktioniert nur so semi-gut. Der Nightbot macht halbwegs irgendwie seinen Job, aber der ist auch auf YouTube ein bisschen länger unterwegs, der braucht deutlich länger. Und Streamlabs ist auch nicht zuverlässig, generell. Also die Bots in YouTube-Chats funktionieren nicht zuverlässig. Nicht so zuverlässig, wie ich sie mir wünschen würde. Und das ist halt wieder Arbeit, die ich mir machen müsste, die ich eigentlich gar nicht habe.
This year, Gamescom is streaming to you on IGN, and now you can watch it unfold on TikTok. World premieres, exclusive gameplay,
Nette Zimmereinrichtung, wo? Von wem? Von mir oder von denen? Weil meine ist ja nicht neu, die hat sich ja nicht geändert.
Check out IGN and Gamescom's TikTok accounts and use the hashtags WellPlayed and Gamescom 2020 to get in on the action.
Werbung schlachten bis zum Abwinken. Hashtag WellPlayed. Kann ich gerne mitmachen. Aber ich lade mir nicht TikTok runter.
Welcome back to the 2020 Gamescom Best of Show Awards. Now, if you're just now tuning in, well, you have great timing because we are down to the final 2 categories, and they're the big ones. Sid, take it away.
Ich habe ein imaginäres Fähnchen.
With 300,000 attendees or a digital celebration, it's a massive undertaking to get so many games in one place. It requires an army of people to coordinate with developers and publishers from around the world in multiple languages and time zones to get their games in front of players. It's even more work to try and pick one definitive favorite game, but our judges rose to the challenge. Here are the nominees for overall Best of Gamescom.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Wer wird diese Kategorie wohl gewinnen? Cyberpunk. Auf jeden Fall Cyberpunk.
And now it's time for a heavy hitter, the Best of Gamescom Award. And your winner for 2020 is Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh!
With CD Projekt Red's stellar AAA track record, most gamers have high hopes for this sprawling, story-driven
Danke auch erneut für diesen einen Award, für diesen weiteren Award. Danke, danke, danke. Ich lege ihn zu den anderen. Erneut.
And joining me now, once more, is Bruce Green.
Once more.
Hey, it's so good to see you again.
No, I know. It's great. And we're talking more Cyberpunk 2077. They just won Best in Show Award. I mean, I can't
Is anybody
say
surprised
I'm surprised. Here? Yeah, I can't say it's a huge surprise. But we were just talking about how, you know, it also won
Ich bin auch total surprised. Ich bin, wow. Cyberpunk, nochmal. Dieses kleine Studio. Mit dem kleinen, unbekannten Spiel. Krass. Krass.
Yeah, so I think it was like a year and a half ago, maybe even a couple of years ago, whenever they showed that first gameplay reveal, the 48-minute gameplay reveal, the first thing that I noticed was obviously, and I'd heard a lot about it, but when I saw it in gameplay, I was convinced was the first-person perspective. That's something that CD Projekt Red normally does third person, so I wasn't totally sold on it till I saw the gameplay.
Jetzt reden die schon wieder über eine First Person, meine Güte. Ja, es ist ein Roleplay-Game, ist doch jetzt nicht schlimm, dass da eine First Person mit drin ist. Und auch nichts Neues.
Ooh, I like it. We're getting some hot takes. No, I completely agree, and because I am an FPS gal, if you will. I love FPS, and knowing that I'm going to get to explore Night City in first person is so exciting to me. But also Night City, I mean, man, the amount of detail that they are packing into to your playground is just
it's unbelievable. It is insane. I don't know how they could make a larger game than The Witcher 3, but I think they're going to do it with Cyberpunk, and obviously not bigger isn't always better, but with CD Projekt Red, I trust them. I think they know what they're doing at this point, right? This developer's at the very, very top of their game, maybe even the best developer working right now. So
I like it.
I know it's a bold claim.
Nein,
but
die beste
it's one of
Seite
those
nicht,
things that I
aber
firmly believe,
die
especially
machen schon einen
seeing
guten
more and
Job.
more about this game.
Well, and to go back to the first-person thing, I mean, like you said, previously CD Projekt Red has done third-person games, but it's not lost on them the amount of detail that has to go into a first-person game. And I mean, we were talking briefly about the Melee and how they were perfecting it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they were just. I just read an article just the other day about how they were kind of working on their Melee because they were trying to figure out how, like, when the player melees another player in first person, it's like, how do they make sure that they indicate it correctly to the player that's playing? And this is the kind of thing that CD Projekt Red, I mean, they've been developing this game for what, 7 years, 8 years?
At least.
And
ich muss übrigens gerade mal anmerken, was haben irgendwie alle im Gaming-Genre gemeinsam? Hier. Das hier. RGB-Beleuchtung. Es muss bunt leuchten. Und jetzt guckt euch mal die Butze von dem Typen an.
And I mean, with the Melee, I hope the Mantis blades are perfect.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
What was it? I think it was the year that they had the gameplay reveal that they showed the statue with the Mantis blades, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
I think you're right. Yeah.
I am so excited to see that arsenal that they have out there. I mean, because if they're packing that level of detail into, you know, that sandbox and to Night City, like, show me the guns. I am so excited for that.
Hier,
so,
hier.
Bruce, one last thing
Bei dem leuchtet ja alles. Und zwar Disco, schon fast Disco-mäßig.
All right, Sydney, the first thing that I'm
going to do. Da ist sogar eine Lampe oben hingebaut, die eskaliert.
You're going to do it too. Customize those genitals. That's what we're doing. We're going straight to the genitals.
You got to do it.
And then, I mean, you got it. Everybody's going to do it. And then also I'm going to customize the car when I get that car, because those are my two favorite things in all the world, cars and genitals. So I can't wait. There's so much there. There's so
Zwei
much.
Sachen, auf die sich freut. Autos und Genitalien.
Oh, man, I'm so excited.
Cool.
Bruce, thank you so much for stopping by. Always a pleasure.
Of course, Sydney. It's always a pleasure.
And now let's pop on over to Akeem, who's going to present the Heart of Gaming Award.
Now, while a lot of the Gamescom Best of Show awards are pretty specific, the Heart of Gaming Award is really about celebrating and recognizing something really special that's making the world of gaming a better place as a whole. And while games and studios are eligible to win, so are individual people, institutions, concepts, or even words. So choosing a winner is probably a daunting task for the judges because it can be virtually anything. Here are the nominees for the 2020 Gamescom Heart of Gaming Award.
Laut. Was? Sid Meier? What? Ja, auf jeden Fall die Indie Arena, würde ich sagen. Auf jeden Fall die Indie Arena.
And the winner of Gamescom 2020's Heart of Gaming Award goes to Supercrowd Entertainment for their Indie Arena booth virtual experience.
Das ist sehr gut.
Indie Arena booth is one of the biggest and most beloved booths at Gamescom, and it was a massive collaborative effort between a staggering number of indie developers, and Supercrowd gave them all the tools they needed to make their booths truly special. Joining me right now to accept the Heart of Gaming Award, we have Wolf and Valentina of Supercrowd. How y'all doing?
Hi, Akeem.
Thank you all so much for joining me. So my first question is, what inspired the Indie Arena booth that you all created?
Do you want to start, ladies? Ladies first, I guess. Sorry.
Die Dame kennen wir doch schon.
Valentina.
Indie Arena booth, yeah. I mean, we're doing this since 2013, and we grew from 40 square meters to 1,500 square meters last year at Gamescom, and this year we thought we had to do something to represent indie developers, and so we created this amazing online multiplayer. And yeah, I think what inspired us most was like to help indie devs from all over the world.
Yeah, I think like in general, one of the worst days in my professional career was the day when Gamescom was cancelled on the physical side, but the same day the Indie Mega booth needed to resign their work.
Jetzt noch mal ganz ehrlich, wer hat denn bitte schon Anfang des Jahres damit gerechnet, dass die Gamescom wirklich stattfindet? Mir war das schon definitiv klar. Weil das Virus, dass das verschwindet bis zum Ende des Jahres, das war sehr unwahrscheinlich. Es gab keinen Grund dafür.
That are in countries that are not yet that well connected, and I'm so amazed with our. I think we have 185 games inside of the Indie Arena booth online world from 50 nations, and it's so cool because it was very affordable for the developers due to the help of our partners. So yeah. I just want to say thank to the whole team, all the people working on this product, all the developers building the booths themselves. It was just a gigantic
für diejenigen, die das nicht mitgekriegt haben, die Indie Arena Booth ist eine Sammlung, also eine In-Game-Messe, wo du halt durch die Gegend laufen kannst mit deinem Charakter und bei Indie-Games halt entsprechend Spiele anspielen kannst, dich mit Entwicklern unterhalten kannst, Trailer ansehen kannst. Finde ich ganz cool.
So basically it was like sorry.
I know, I mean you can start because our submission was already open by the time the Gamescom was cancelled, so it was more the question of that the developers trusted us so much because we didn't announce anything before June what we were actually planning. So but they will keep submitting their games. I think that was the interesting part here, and pressure was high. But then our first trailer showing that we had this game planned, I think everybody was like, whoa, what's going on here? And yeah, so yeah, I think it was a very interesting, different process this year. But we tried to be always two weeks ahead of any announcements of any things, and yeah, busy times, but finish line check mark.
Yeah, and yeah, you made it. I mean, you all are the heart of gaming this year. Also, I want to ask you about this. Like, it's such an interesting look and feel. How do you all feel about having these little avatars, people walking around in this particular space that you all created? What does that feel like?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Über was sie telefoniert gefühlt gerade über eine Kartoffel.
On our own, and it was so funny what people actually did there.
They
we have this little chat function, and people played games in our game, which doesn't have gameplay yet, but we'll definitely have. It was really nice to see what the people did and how they're like, oh, let's meet at booth so and so, and they played around with all the avatars, and it was just a chill place to hang out and discover a lot of stuff.
And it was actually also that there was this one moment which I think I missed the most without having any conventions. I spotted a couple of my friends that have been developing with like Games Forever, and I would just click in on the avatar saying, oh, that's that guy. Awesome. Wow, I haven't seen each other for 6 months and we just started chatting and talking, and it's not the same as giving each other.
Ich finde auf jeden Fall, das ist glaube ich die beste Idee, die man haben konnte für Indie-Spiele, damit die halt auffindbar sind, damit man die halt auch sieht. Weil die brauchen halt, gerade Indie-Games brauchen halt die Bühne. Die haben halt kein Budget, die können halt nicht großartig werben. Das geht nicht.
All be able to come together IRL for Gamescom 2021. Valentina, Wolf, I want to thank you all so much for joining me.
Thanks so much, and thanks for the wonderful award.
Now we need to take one last short break, but you've been with us this long, so why not hang out with us just a little while longer? The Gamescom Best of Show Awards will be right back.
Klar, machen wir nochmal Werbung, warum auch nicht? Ich muss tatsächlich sagen, ich finde das echt gut, dass die Indie Arena Booth erschaffen wurde. Ich habe zwar bislang noch nicht reingeguckt, nicht so in dem Umfang, wie ich es gerne gemacht hätte, aber es ist gut auf jeden Fall, dass für die Leute, die halt interessiert sind, das geschaffen wurde, weil dadurch können die halt die Indie-Games auch sich angucken und entdecken. Ohne diese Booth hättest du wahrscheinlich einfach die Indies runterfallen lassen, einfach hinten runterfallen lassen. Und das wäre echt eine Katastrophe, weil die müssen ja dieses Jahr auch irgendwie ein bisschen Geld machen. Da führt ja kein Weg dran vorbei. Und hättest du halt nicht eben so ein Programm geschaffen, wären die wahrscheinlich einfach untergegangen. Die wären einfach in der Masse untergegangen. Dann hättest du wirklich nur Microsoft, EA und Ubisoft, die halt ihre Sachen präsentieren, und CD Projekt Red und halt ja auch Bandai Namco und so weiter und so fort. Und die ganzen kleineren Spiele, die halt eben nicht marketingtechnisch unterwegs sind, die wären dann halt einfach liegen geblieben. Die wären zwar auch irgendwie da, aber die hätte keiner gefunden. Da hätten alle gedacht, ach, ja, wieder irgendein Spiel. Dadurch, dass du jetzt halt einfach auf dieser Messe durch die Gegend läufst und quasi, also auf der Indie Arena Booth durch die Gegend läufst und dann irgendeinen Trailer irgendwo siehst, gehst halt hin, stellst dich dahin, guckst dir den an und sagst, ja, interessiert mich, ich möchte mehr wissen, oder gehst halt weiter, weil es dich nicht interessiert. Also du bist halt dann schon da. Und das ist echt, das finde ich ganz cool. Im Prinzip ist es ja genauso wie auf der echten Gamescom. Da läufst du ja auch einfach bei der Indie Arena vorbei. Das ist ja eine einzelne Halle. Da sind dann ganz kleine Stände, wirklich mit einer Person, teilweise nur 1, 2 Personen. Und da hast du dann 2 Rechner. Da hast du dann 2 Rechner oder 2 Konsolen, wo du wo du spielen kannst. Henrik, ich wünsche dir was. Da hast du halt 2 Stationen, wo du dann zocken kannst, dich unterhalten kannst mit den Entwicklern. Und mehr ist das auch nicht. Das sind halt Indie-Entwickler. Und im Prinzip ist es ja genauso geworden hier. Und ihr beiden da, ne? Ich kenne euch nicht, aber ihr geht mir das 5. oder 6. Mal ziemlich hart auf den Keks. So richtig hart auf den Keks.
Welcome back, everyone. It looks like we've given out all our awards, so like all good things, Gamescom 2020 Best of Show must come to an end.
Now let's give a huge congratulations to all the winners and participants in this year's Gamescom Best of Show and Cosplay competition, and a great big thank you to the hundreds of people who helped Gamescom come together this year.
From the crew working on this live show as we're talking to you, to everybody who problem solved all the moving parts of an event of this scale across thousands of miles, several time zones, and a mind-boggling amount of emails.
Doing a production of this size during times of COVID has been a challenge, to put it mildly. It's only through the tireless efforts and intense collaboration of our teams that make something special like this happen. So before we go, we just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone who played a part in making Gamescom 2020 happen in a year where a global pandemic would have threatened to cancel it completely. Here's a quick look at what it took to make this year's show a reality.
Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt. Oh, laut, ey.
Each year, Gamescom presents the biggest and best video game conference on Earth, bringing thousands of video game fans, developers, and publishers together in one place to celebrate, play new games, and get a glimpse of what the future of gaming holds for everyone. 2020, however, had different plans.
Ever since we were hit with this pandemic, it kind of seemed like a lot of entertainment elements that we typically depend on just kind of stopped.
No more movie theaters, there were no more bars, there were no more sporting events. There's a drought in entertainment as we speak. The one industry that really hasn't been hit, that continues to thrive, is gaming.
Especially with everything going on, gaming has become an increasingly more important part of people's lives, so I'm glad that, we can take a couple of days to celebrate that with everybody around the world.
What the... To make this year's show special, IGN worked with Gamescom to develop 5 different shows: Gamescom Studio, Awesome Indies, Gamescom Daily Show, Cosplay Contest, and Gamescom Best of Show, each bringing with it a unique focus with the help of hosts, writers, and producers all over the world. For our remote productions, something as seemingly simple as shooting from home takes a team of over 30 people for just a single day of programming. Our hosts and panelists were provided with state-of-the-art cameras and lighting equipment, and their home offices were converted into colorful sets to fit their personalities. Behind the scenes, our video editors, producers, and technical directors conduct the shoots from a virtual control room, making jumps between people's home setups and shows feel seamless. But to really accentuate the show's spectacle feel, we knew we needed to integrate one more layer of production, an actual studio set run by a small group of hosts and production crew members.
It's a skeleton crew. It's about 10, 11 people, and yet we're putting on such a high-end production, which I'm really proud of just everyone coming together and putting on this amazing experience that I'm hoping that the viewers are going to really enjoy.
Our initial plan was to shoot out of our fully equipped San Francisco studios, but a rise in COVID-19 cases deemed it necessary for us to pivot and move production to our smaller Los Angeles office with only 2 weeks to go before live kickoff.
We have one studio, it's really kind of small, but we wanted to do something big. So we completely terraformed our offices here in Los Angeles into these mini sets and mini stages, and that became the foundation or the base for our Gamescom coverage.
With a rapidly approaching deadline, IGN teams had to redesign our studios, rebuild our shows, swap out our hosts, and get creative with how our talent and producers would interact without being in the same rooms. It took round-the-clock problem-solving and strict COVID production protocol to bring it all together.
So it feels good to know that in addition to taking all of those social distancing, wearing masks, constantly washing hands and the hand sanitizer stuff, I know everyone here has been tested.
We have COVID safety technicians here all the time to be able to actually be in studio, and I am really thrilled to be able to bring you some material from in studio, but of course you're going to see a lot of people on monitors. You're going to see a lot of people I wish I was hugging and shaking hands with in person.
The result was a unique synergy of home productions and studio productions that created one Gamescom experience unlike anything the world has ever seen.
Just being here, looking at the studio space, how we kind of just transformed it into something really special and something that I think the viewers are really gonna get a kick out of.
So why go through the efforts to keep the show going in such a difficult year? Because in a time when the global pandemic is keeping us apart, our community is relying on games to bring us together. Video games let us escape to new worlds, foster friendships, and take on epic adventures in a time where travel isn't possible.
We can lose ourselves in worlds that take us outside the confines of our homes. We can congregate with friends, we can go on adventures, we could attend concerts, we could just cut loose.
Wir können zum Beispiel auch durch die Welt reisen,
that we can no longer do together in a single space.
It's been such a huge blessing to have something like video games to focus my attention on, whether it's I want to get better at Call of Duty or mouse and keyboard, or just playing with my friends and having a place to get online and socialize and just feel a little bit more normal.
It means a lot to these people. means a lot to everybody working on this thing to provide some kind of entertainment for everybody during this hard time.
Video games bring us joy, and joy is something everyone in the world can use right now. That's why it is our passion and we feel our duty to shine a light on the gaming industry. And what better place than Gamescom, where gamers and the people who make games can come together to celebrate this art form. In a time of so much uncertainty, it's good to have a place to connect and a little something to look forward to, no matter how far apart we are. I'm a little rickety today. It's not working, you guys, but I'll give you everything I have.
Yay, Outtakes!
I'm a wooden roller coaster.
Dinge, die ich nie gesehen habe, weil
And don't forget to visit
die halt die deutsche Variante gekriegt haben, ne?
To see the newest games. God damn it. Hold on, one more time. We almost got it!
In this Gamescom Partner Spotlight, we're going to check out the trailer for How Did Words Work, my first time talking.
Go for it.
Nein, mach kein Fort, nein, mach es nicht.
And don't forget to visit gamescom.global.com to see all the newest from Gamescom. Gamescom's YouTube.
If you haven't seen the trailer, face.
Wir sind in Deutschland, du kannst fluchen, du darfst fluchen.
Okay. We've been going so strong, guys. The collapse had to happen. All right.
If you have not yet seen the trailer for the teaser trailer, it's a teaser trailer.
This has gone awry.
This Forza Motorsport Tournament 7-4-7-7 Forza 744-57. Back to you.
What? Ah, okay. Gut. Das ist der Abspann. Dann würde ich sagen, war es das an der Stelle auch tatsächlich pünktlich interessant. Dann war es das tatsächlich auch mit dem Best of Gamescom und in dem Fall dann auch mit der Gamescom 2020. Durchweg eine durchwachsene Gamescom, muss ich dazu sagen. Also sie ist von hinten bis vorne halt, klar, natürlich durch Corona halt nicht eine klassische Gamescom gewesen. Dennoch finde ich es gut, dass sie halt das weitergeführt haben, dass sie nicht ausfallen haben lassen. Denn gerade halt, wie ich vorhin schon erwähnt hatte, kleine Entwickler sind darauf angewiesen, dass sie halt unterstützt werden. Dass sie halt auch eine Bühne bekommen. Die Großen nicht unbedingt, aber die Kleinen umso mehr. Was die Großen angeht, da gab es dieses Jahr leider auch nicht so extrem viel zu sehen. Also bei Ubisoft hätte man sonst mindestens 3-4 Spiele gehabt. Bei EA hätte man mindestens 3-4 Spiele gehabt auf jeder Messe. Und dann halt noch die ganzen kleinen anderen Spiele, die halt immer gezeigt worden wären und vorgestellt worden wären, auch welche, die schon draußen gewesen wären. Das kannst du halt nie nicht machen. Also irgendwelche Anspiel-Events kannst du halt hier nicht machen. Nicht in der Form, wie es damals ging. Aber wie gesagt, durchweg ein guter Ersatz, ein würdiger Ersatz und halbwegs gut organisiert. Also man konnte halt auf dieser now.gamescom-Seite konnte man halt alles nachgucken, sich die Streams raussuchen. Es gab eine Menge Programm, meistens halt Panels zum Angucken, zum Informationen sammeln. Waren halt aber jetzt nicht diese klassischen Panels wie auf der Gamescom, wo man sich dann vielleicht mit einem Entwickler unterhält und persönliche Infos bekommt, sondern es war halt, man hat halt was gefragt, wenn man Glück hatte, wurde halt die Nachricht auch gelesen und halt entsprechend auch beantwortet. Wie gesagt, es ist ein Ersatz, es ist nicht der Ersatz, der optimale, aber es war ein guter und ein würdiger. So, und damit würde ich jetzt auch ausfaden, wünsche euch noch einen schönen Abend, bedanke mich. Und dann sieht man sich hoffentlich auf der richtigen Gamescom 2021. Macht's gut und ciao. Auch von meiner Seite.